Hey guys, it's the Pug. I am going to watch this A Day with Florida's only football hooligan. It's a Vice
What
video.
I'm looking to do is make a name in the hooligan game, you understand? Miami, USA versus Millwall, brother. And after that, I'm looking to shut you guys down. You understand what you get, brother?
This guy's going to be nuts, isn't it? I watched the first 5 minutes of this. I thought, I've got to watch this, recording myself watching him.
You think it's all a game?
I like football. It's good, clean fun. Back in the 80s, it was slightly less clean though, with British teams having extremely violent gangs called firms associated with them.
Understatement. It was absolutely nuts in the 80s, wasn't it?
Their fave thing was to meet up after the game and beat the living shit out of each other. In fact, this became the main event. This evolved into the casual subculture with its own music and clothes, involving lads battering each other in smart Fred Perry shirts to the sounds of oi punk.
Stone Island these days.
This luckily waned in the UK a long time ago.
It's coming back though, isn't it? Is it not? Fight Club-esque at the minute?
But there is one man across the pond in sunny Miami whose life's work is to single-handedly revive and transplant the British hooligan scene into America.
England is #1, always and forevermore.
Derek Diablo Alvarez made waves.
Diablo Alvarez. Fuck, that's a proper mobster name. Or gangster, I guess, Latino name.
Online for uploading his unusual videos, calling out firms from Millwall, Chelsea and Lincoln, claiming he was part of a firm called the Miami Casuals, and getting
Cut grass, mate. It's a bit easier with grass cut.
absolutely seen off in the comments section for doing so.
What a complete utter wanker. Fucking clown. Watches one Daniel Dyer movie.
Mr. Millwall, so-called. Mr. Hooligan, so-called Mr. Top Boy.
He hosts his own cooking show called Hooligan Kitchen.
If you want to be a hooligan,
Hooligan Kitchen. You gotta eat like a hooligan.
you gotta eat like a hooligan.
All the while, he brags about his own firm out in Miami.
Millwall, how do you like it?
The only problem? Miami doesn't have a football team yet, and Derek has never been to Britain.
Yeah, this is 3 or 4 years old, this.
Once.
Just think of yourselves as coaches in my American Hooligan League, brother.
And I'm not sure he really likes football at all, just a shouting part. So is it possible to export British football violence into the US? Could the family-friendly NBA-style soccer culture be converted into a violent hellscape of aqua scutum and bleeding faces?
Atlanta, united, we're never divided.
We flew out to Florida to meet Derek
I believe that we can win.
and the Miami Casuals and go to the nearest football game he could find in Orlando in a bid to discover whether the US was the new site of football hooliganism.
We are in Miami to meet Diablo, or Derek, or Mr. D, Master D, D1, a man of many names. And we're here to
D1. Diablo 1.
find out more about the football violence firm that he's starting here in a city that
The football violence firm.
doesn't have
This is not going to go well, is it?
its own football team yet.
Is that his mum?
Hello.
Hey, how's it
Hi.
going?
No,
Hi.
she looks too young.
You must be here for D, huh?
I am, yeah.
The only thing
D1, we're here for D1, mate.
is he's sleeping, so I don't know if you want to maybe try getting him up. If he wakes up swinging, better you than me.
Derek?
D1.
Hey, man.
Go in, give him a nudge.
Flannel on face.
Okay.
Can of Stella.
Derek, it's Joel here from Vice for the documentary, if you're about.
You need to do this Cuban mama style. D. Derek. Derek. Hi.
Fuck off out of my room, God.
Thank you,
5
man.
minutes.
Telly's on as well.
You got 5.
Wait, 5 minutes, mate.
So what's your guys' deal?
We've been working closely for about 2 years. You know, it's a professional relationship, but I mean, we're friends.
Working closely, what like?
I just knew, I was like, man, this is a phenomenon.
How dare you come in my fucking flat unannounced and don't get a lemon.
Don't what? Don't get lemon.
Is that a British
I'll be
accent?
back.
Are you sure he needs a coffee?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Trust me, trust me.
All right.
Now, your cameras get to see the greatest article on this planet. The man above all other men, from UK to US. Before your eyes. The James Brown.
He's not very big, is he? Like, I know I'm not beating up on small people, but he looked bigger before.
Of hooliganism, the hardest working man in the game. That's me, Diablo. Yeah.
The hardest working man in the game.
Take those cameras off me till I'm ready.
Take those cameras off me till I'm ready.
Man, got a shirt on.
Right. I'm awake now, mate.
You're awake?
It's Canestella. Is that his only Canestella he owns?
You ready?
Yeah.
I've been looking at all your clobber while you've been in there.
Ooh! Hey, for an American, for a Yank, what do you say about that clobber, Jack? You see that? Danny Dyer! Hey,
Danny Dyer.
that guy Danny Dyer, you heard of him?
I'm aware of him.
There you go,
besides
honey.
that, hey,
Have some coffee.
what American you know? Bikini, buddy.
Fuck is that?
Besides that,
Have some coffee.
what American you know? Bikini.
I don't even know what that is. It just says T on it, doesn't it?
Buddy, I've been ahead of the trends since day one. OG Sambas, you see that?
You haven't even worn these.
Manchester United, baby. I wore them a lot of times. I just wear them careful.
They got the tag in.
United! Man United! I wear them with the tag, baby.
So can you talk
With the
me...
boys in
This guy can't be real, can he?
red, we're on our way to Wembley. Wembley! What do you say?
The dynamic
What'd you say?
between Derek and I is very patient babysitter versus kid who just drank tango.
So if you ever see someone walking around dressed like this, and
I'll
you,
take
and
the
you
stuff
don't,
away from them.
and you don't know
They don't
them-
deserve to wear the clobber. If you don't know football, first thing I'm gonna say, what firm you support.
Okay.
You don't know the firm? I'm taking your stuff away from you.
Like you're taking their clothes off in the street.
Maybe.
Is this breakfast? A little breakfast, Stella?
Nah. Let's go get a beer. Fuck it. IMF.
International Monetary Fund.
I'm feeling a touch confused, I would say. That's the limit of how I'm feeling right now. I can't tell whether more beers is going to help or hinder what's going on. It might slow things down a little bit
It'll definitely help.
so I can keep up. And it might speed them up. You never know.
You got a lighter, mate?
I don't, sorry.
I hate doing that.
There was
Yeah, for somebody who's got dodgy teeth, I'd never do that. Just probably got to screw off top anyway, didn't it?
something about seeing a skinhead biting the cap off his Guinness and shouting English-style football chants on the streets of Miami that just didn't feel right. From Pele in the 70s to Beckham in the noughties, the world's best players had failed to make football properly take off in the US. And where it existed, it was mainly a family day out.
Atlanta, oh Atlanta.
So I didn't know how Diablo was going to create a hardened firm of nutters here in Miami, especially without a team.
So how did the casual thing start?
Look at his face.
I just wanted to claim casuals, Miami casuals, as a transition from punk to skinhead to
Punk.
casual. It's very natural. And you dress better, and you don't stick out with the OB.
Okay, then I'm very interested in what your definition of a football hooligan is.
A football hooligan is one
Do you think the cameraman's purposely trying to frame it so he's miles shorter than the other guy?
who not merely loves football, but who has an extreme, a fanatical passion, who is willing to fight for their territory. When you got the right clobber and you know your culture, and you move into a city with the intention of steaming the away end, taking their
Steam in the away end. You're in the away end.
city with the intention of steaming the away end,
Yeah, that's. If you're going away, you'd steam the home end.
taking their pub, wrecking the local firm, having your say, having a laugh. Now that, my brother, is football hooliganism.
So I suppose
Football hooliganism.
It's the thing you're passionate about as part of your hooliganism isn't necessarily a club or one club or many
It's British
clubs.
culture. It's a British outlook.
Yeah.
It's the English disease. The British plague, as has been said.
Okay. Do you need a club to be able to do that?
Who am I to say?
It comes in handy.
All right, well, Jesus.
I'm gonna change my clubber. And I'm gonna make a video.
After you.
While Derek got changed, I wondered which titan of English football he was going to call out this time.
Stoke! Stoke hooligans! To all hooligans worldwide, all ultras, all barra bravas, all football casuals, it don't matter what firm you're from, mate. I feel like I can add another chapter to this thing. But we'll see how it goes.
Stoke!
Smashed it. In one.
That's how I do it every time. It's all of it is a one take.
One, boom, straight out.
But
After a pretty intense introduction to Miami football culture, the next day Derek invited me to his nearby dojo, where, after the early evening class where he teaches violent martial arts to 8 to 10s, he and his top lads were planning to brutally initiate a new recruit into their firm. It might look like a simple martial arts class, but these are the top boys of the Miami Casuals firm. So first up, we've got Playboy, a Colombian ex-gangster who can't close his fist all the way on account of the amount of people he's battered in the face with it.
What?
He's not good at all much. John the Greek and his mate Kev both like their jiu-jitsu with a side
Kev.
of Green Street. Manuel, the bloke hoping to be initiated today, is over from a hardened firm in Spain. And finally there's Cody, who's about 9 feet tall and I don't have any further trivia for. These are your top boys.
okay, you can do some forms with us.
All right, here we go.
He's from Beatty's firm, Sevilla, Spain. He invited all of us, any of us who wants to do stuff like this, to go. They just went to Lazio, some of the most feared Nazi hooligans in the world. Okay, bow to each other and begin.
Alright, admission. I thought we'd turn up and see a load of Americans in Stone Island, loudly battering each other with drain pipes. But what we've seen so far tonight is definitely just
3 minutes.
a martial arts class.
Boxing.
I'm still not quite sure what the Miami Casuals actually are, or whether they actually exist.
I think the Miami Casuals have a premium new member.
This will conclude training for today. Saturday, we're going to Orlando City versus NYCFC. And then Sunday, 3 p.m., we're going to do the forest fight. Is that clear? All right, stand up. Very good.
Forest fight.
How did that go?
Well, it went great. I had never seen Mel Wells fighting before.
Yeah.
All I know is he's a violent ultra from another country who hit me up to come meet up with us. So I'm like, yeah, you gotta fight one of my guys. That more or less takes everybody out of it, typically.
Tell us what's next. Now the class is over. What are we going to do now?
Now we go to the pub, the most authentic British restaurant and pub in all of Florida.
Let's go to the pub.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Is it going to be an Irish pub?
man. Hope you guys all enjoyed yourselves.
Did, man. Thank you.
You drinking water?
Dee's just rolled up inexplicably in a completely different outfit to what he left in.
Well, lads, here we are. King's Head Pub. This is the top I've seen. Ready?
All right.
Ready?
Show me.
Let's have it.
Let's have it.
Hey, love. 2 pints of bodies. Hey. 2 pints of bodies. All right.
Tomorrow was the big MLS game. Orlando versus New York City
Pints
FC.
of bodies.
This was the closest match Diablo could find to his teamless Miami, and would feature 2 old rival firms, so promised to be spicy.
Boddington, cream of Manchester. Best
That's not Boddington's, is it? It's lager, isn't it, that?
beer on the planet.
Perhaps finally, Diablo could
Boddington? I know it says Guinness, but I thought Boddington's were beer.
get the fight he was clearly so horny for.
How many lads are you expecting tomorrow?
From my firm,
Yeah.
I'm only going with me and the Playboy.
Okay.
2.
I don't want to have no maniacs in my group that go off and do something on their own and jeopardize the reputation of the group and affect us with MLS and so forth, you know?
Is it quite difficult to get them to lean into the football side of the culture?
Oh, it's not going to be difficult at all because we're going to have the best football club in the world. We're going to have and also there's more beautiful women here than anywhere else. It's not like gonna be like you're in the middle of a shitty town in backwater England, where,
Stoke!
the main thing is you're firm.
All right, I'm buzzing to go fuck up
He said Stoke before. Stoke's a wonderful place, I'm sure.
NYFC.
Haha, fuck NYFC.
Fuck NYFC!
Orlando City all the way.
I knew we had an early drive to Orlando, so I ducked out of there before Derek performed his set, a rap-oi hybrid he describes as cutthroat core, in a back room at the pub.
Inter Miami firm. He weren't wrong, though. What did they call them, Inter Miami, didn't they? Defend Miami!
I was disappointed to discover that only one of the firm could make it to the big away game, but I was still excited to see the football factory played out in the home of Disneyland.
So far, the information we have is Derek was going to be sleeping at Playboy's house, which we are outside at the moment. But then we got a phone call from him literally when we were in the car to Playboy's house, saying he didn't sleep at Playboy's house. Playboy, remember, is the hooligan nutter who can't even close his own hand because he's punched too many people with it. He's apparently the sober and composed one. So, start of a 3.5-hour road trip with someone who could be described as quite an erratic presence is going, I would say, medium to badly at the moment.
After driving around for a while, including a weird detour where we took a wordless Playboy to the bank, we finally found the James Brown of hooliganism at a nearby petrol station, another inexplicable outfit change down, and carrying a load of dry cleaning.
Let's fucking have it. And I'll tell all these fuckers, don't get fucking lemon.
Do you ever wonder what
Don't get lemon. Why does he keep saying that? Don't get lemon.
Derek would speak like if he never got the Football Factory on DVD?
Let's have it.
Do you expect to hit
Is that what it's on? I don't think I've seen Football Factory. I think I've seen Green Street.
anyone today?
Hopefully not, but if they step across that line, bing, 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 bop, bop, bop.
I'm not
What's he drinking now? His second kind of Stella. That's not Stella. It's like Woodpecker cider.
going to relive my experience of that car ride.
Nietzsche's daughter.
But let's just say, it lasted 3.5 hours.
Benicio del Toro movie.
And when Derek wasn't
What did he say before? Nietzsche's daughter.
talking,
Vanilla muffin.
he was controlling the stereo.
But I get to sit in there to control the music.
And there are torture survivors who flinch less at loud noises now than I do.
Put a fucking shirt on, dude. Oh, that's his going to Wembley.
Here we are. Hey.
Let's just hope for the best, shall we? I'm quite intrigued because Steve was promising that everyone here would be up for a fight. So the sort of makeup of the fans we've seen so far has been like lots of mums with children, groups of smiley face young women and unintoxicated men. Like it's a very wholesome sports day vibe.
Chicken background's just run a marathon.
Unintoxicated men. Like it's a very
This chick here's just done a marathon.
wholesome sports day vibe right now. This is the Orlando Massive. They're ready to just kick their flip-flops off and just fuck New York City up. It's gonna be carnage out here. Absolute mayhem.
Oi, oi!
You're about to meet Stephen McKnight, the hardest casual in all of Orlando. I hope you're ready.
How you doing,
Orlando
my man?
City supporter.
Oh yeah.
Old school.
Cheers, very nice to meet you.
Orlando. Anti-fascist skinhead. I'll turn it over to Stephen McKnight, you understand?
I was about 18 years old the first time that I met Diablo. I was running
It must have been a while ago, that, mate.
with all the Puerto Rican skinheads up here in Orlando. The problem is there just wasn't enough of us.
Yeah.
You know, the Nazis fucking,
Just weren't enough Nazis.
they outnumbered us constantly. There's a couple of clubs in America that have very right-wing followings. New York City FC,
Are they one?
actually one of them.
Are you expecting those to turn out today?
With New York City FC, it's always hard to tell. Once we get into the stadium, we'll be able to put a better gauge on it.
Once we can see him, we'll be able to tell how many's turned up.
Hey!
Hey, what's up, my man?
It's just that easy, you understand? Bang, bang, bang.
As we walked through Orlando's Disney-like streets, it became more and more apparent that, no matter how up for a fight Diablo was, the rest of the Orlando City fans, including the world's least threatening ex-Marine,
There's a really good Thai place.
were actually here for a nice day out.
It's Diablo, man. He's always doing something.
United! Man United!
It's on Miller Lite now.
We're the boys in red and we're on the way to Wembley. Wembley! Wembley! We're the boys in red and we're on our way to Wembley. Now, that's the only song you need to know.
Because that's the only song you do know.
He's taken some liberties with the melody,
Oh, he's on Bud Light. No, he's on Miller Lite, isn't he? His mate's on Bud Light.
but I kind of rate it. We were actually on our way to Orlando City Stadium, a far cry from Wembley, but, according to Diablo, the site of an imminent brutal war between a Nazi New York firm and the fearsome ILF. Sadly, I'd left my knuckle duster at home, but luckily had all
Sharing
two
beer.
members of the Miami Casuals to defend me.
If any NYCFC come against us, we're ready. And just film. Because if they come against us, it's going to be defensive. But fuck NYCFC to the beginning to the end.
We gotta go, baby. It's already a quarter
Let's
till.
go.
Let's shoot.
MLS football is definitely an experience. The place had a sellout crowd, with everyone wearing team colours. The away section was about 50 people strong and set up in the stands amongst the home supporters. And though the ILF was sat opposite us, the most violent thing they seemed to do
IMF.
was set off the odd smoke bomb after a goal. But I suppose I was most fascinated with Derek, who didn't particularly seem to care about the football itself. He was making some gestures and starting some Man U chants like he'd just read How to Be a Hooligan manuals online. For someone who says he lives and breathes football violence, he seemed particularly detached from the sport itself.
The whole atmosphere is like somewhere between Disneyland and an actual football game. It's the most safe I felt at any football match in my life. There was not a micro particle of aggro there. It's like trying to start a fucking fist fight at like parents' evening.
As most of the NYFC fans filed back to the family-friendly hotel near the stadium,
NYCFC!
it became more and
Martial arts instructor for 6 to 8 year olds.
more apparent to Diablo
I bet they fancy the chances with him.
that he wasn't going to get the fight he dreamt of here today.
You see where they're at? Nowhere. Look at the stadium. You see nothing. Anytime you want NYCFC, fuck you pussies.
It had been a big day of not hitting people in the face, and Derek was all tuckered out.
Broke his foot.
Time to put the Diablo to bed.
Manchester United. Fucking hell. I thought they were going to bring him to England in this. I didn't realise they were just going to Orlando City FC or whatever it is.
Before I went home, I always have a
Orlando Pirates? Fuck knows.
final chat with Diablo about whether he really thought it was possible to create his British football violence utopia here in sunny Miami, or whether it was entirely a fantasy played out online.
I used to know an American guy who were a bit like this. In fact, he had an apartment in Miami that we went to for Winter Music Festival once, and 2 days before we got there, he said, "Oh, I've sold my apartment." It might be this guy.
I met him at his big forest fight, which, again, it was just jiu-jitsu, but this time it was outside.
After yesterday, what I would ask is, are you training for a fight that's never going to happen?
Possibly so, but in the meantime, we have the sport version. We'll be number one in hooliganism. We'll be number one in forest fighting.
Because there's nobody to be number 2 against.
No question. I just got to get everybody to know what it is, and we just need more exposure. We can carry the tradition on to the clothes, to the clobber, to the language, to the expressions, the slang, the rhyming slang.
If we asked all the other guys who were fighting out here
The rhyming slang.
today
It means the song that you don't know any numbers. You don't know any actually old songs.
if they're
Jesus, look at this guy.
in a firm, would they say yes?
No, they don't all exactly know what a firm is, but they've seen the forest fights and they've seen regular hooligan fights. It's a tribute to that, but done in a modern way. That's what I feel. That's why I like the term neo-hooliganism. Being a hooligan is subjective. It's up to the individual what they perceive it to be.
So are you a hooligan?
I'll leave that to your audience.
No.
You know?
Do you think you've done enough to prove yourself to British hooligans?
No.
What do you have to do?
Go to England and fight.
Yeah, this is what I thought it was going to happen. 20 minutes in.
From what I'd seen, I really wasn't sure whether a terrorist-inspired culture of football violence could ever be translated to America.
No, because it's not fucking tribal enough, and there's not enough away fans because they all play like 3-hour flights away. There's no, I mean, it's getting there, isn't it? But it's just too many families. No.
Beyond the clobber, the MLS is too glossy, too fun, and the best player is Wayne Rooney. I'm not sure crowds of families, and fans young and old, really want to swap out having a hot dog for having a big scrap. But if anyone can make football hooliganism thrive here in the US, it's sure to be Diablo. In a way, I hope he finds the fight he's looking for out here. And I also hope that, one day, he comes to England and someone tries to kick his head in. I think he'd really, really like that.
Well, to be fair, I thought a day with Florida's only football hooligan, I guess it says it in the title. I was hoping they were going to bring him to the UK and see him in actual grounds. If you know, because this video was a couple of years old now, while Wayne Rooney were playing, wasn't he? If you know any update videos on this guy, let me know. If there's other videos you want me to watch, I can watch stuff on Vice, I think, as long as I share that it is on Vice. I'll put the full link to the video in the description. Just a new video. Cheers for watching. Punk out.